My name is Richard Voltaire.
My name is Hudson Charles.
And this is Real Talk with H&R.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to you live at K-West Radio. And we want to thank my boy Carlos, brought to you by Royal Soul Productions. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had a great feedback, and we're just so thankful for everything that you guys have given us, all the feedback, all support that we've had, and we're just very thankful. So please always subscribe to our YouTube page. It is H&R Podcast, and we just want to appreciate you guys and thank you guys for all you guys have done for us.
That's right. And you know what? We did say 2 weeks ago that we were going to be live last week. But unfortunately, we couldn't do it because we had some other stuff to do. But we want to make sure that this time we correct that. That's mean next week, we're going to be live.
Yes, so we are going to be live next week, ladies and gentlemen. So please, Facebook, just come through and just have a good time. The topic today is going to be a very, I would say, sensitive one, and one that kind of hits home. I'm sure this is something that has been discussed on couches before, or even with your friends. You know what I'm saying?
All the time we talk about it.
So it's pretty much what it is. It's pretty much your identity. You know, sharing our identity with our people. Mm-hmm. Pretty much what it is. So, I mean, it's crazy because when you have an identity, you know, it's different because you got to understand something. As you guys can see, Hudson and I are two young black men.
Yes, sir.
You know, so it's important for us to identify the problem with our people. And that's the title, Identifying the Problem for Our People. It's important and imperative that we identify the issue because we are two black men living in America.
That's right. But if we say we're going to talk about change, and that's the main thing that we listen to in the social media, today, a lot of us, we need change. But inside, you know, before we get to that change, there's so many things we have to correct ourselves, because just the men change, you know, for ourselves, but also we have to look at our reality, you know, what's going on in us, you know what I'm saying? Because I know change just not happen between, you know, just today to tomorrow. There's a process, there's work that has to be done, you know? And since we're going to be talking about those and identifying those problems that's going on in our community as black folks, you know, and also how we can not only show them, but also how can we fix them? Because if we say change, but first the change needs to start with ourselves.
No, it's true. And, you know, I remember I was telling Hudson this before, like, if a cop stops me, like, on the side of the road, let's say I'm walking or even if I'm even driving, the cop's not going to be like, oh, there goes that Haitian black man, because both of us are two Haitian black men. No, they're going to be like, okay, there goes those two black men. There goes that black man over there. So to me, it's like, it's not about the culture. Like, some people are Nigerian, some people are, you know, Somalian and things of that nature. I'm talking about just the color itself. Yeah. And I feel like it's important because I feel like we need to take more, you know, ownership of, you know, things that we have done to hinder our own people. Yeah. You know, and because there are certain experiences, like I can only speak from my personal experience. I can't, you know, go back and talk about, you know, the 400 years of captivity, the 400 years of slavery, because I didn't live it, you know, but it's so sad, you know, when you think about it, when you hear it, you know, and the sad part about it is I feel like us as a people, that we still have a slave mentality. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there has been a civil war going on with black people, and not just, I'm not talking about black, I'm talking about light-skinned, dark-skinned, different kinds of shades. There has been legitimately a civil war going on between black people, and to me, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. You know, like, we're supposed to be supporting one another, you know, loving one another and appreciating who we are, you know. So that's why, obviously, like, as a Christian man, my identity comes, you know, through Christ. So to me, I feel like that's very important to have that relationship. And I don't know, to me, like, I have a sense of pride, you know, like, I love everybody, but when I see someone that looks like me, you know what I'm saying, or just like shares my skin complexion, or even darker than me, man, like, I'm like, you know what, like, I always have this, I feel like I have this gravitational pull, you know what I'm saying, towards that individual, and just, I have to somehow, like, you know, not just as a man of God, but just inspire that person, or just give a word to that person, you know what I'm saying? Like, the other day I was riding a bike, and I saw this kid, man, and I feel like I missed an opportunity, but there was something in me that was telling me, hey, man, talk to that kid, you know, inspire him, let him know, you know what I'm saying, like, how great he is, or how great he can actually be. That's right. You know, and that stuff is not happening within our community.
No, it's not. And you know why? There's so many confusions out there. You know, so many young kids are angry because, you know, the problem does not just start from outside. It starts from within. You know, the way things started. As we all know, we talking about 400 years of slavery, and it's the whole, like, we're talking about the Caribbean, we're talking about here, we're talking about everywhere, because we know black people where we come from.
The Roman Empire.
you know where we come
slaves
from.
there
You know
too,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
They brought us here, just to work hard, because it's in our DNA. Because I see black people as power all the time.
Exactly.
Why? It's because we have that in us. Hard work does not scare us. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
We're so resilient. I'm not saying we're better than everybody else, but I see that in us. We take hit, you know what I'm saying, but we rebound. We always rebound to get better. You know what I'm saying? So when I say now, the problems that we have, that we're facing in our society today, it is something that probably a lot of the older generation already talked about it, but there needs to be voices that keep addressing those for the future generations. And that's why we're talking about, like, in this podcast, we're trying to educate, we're trying to help people, we're trying to share God's light, but the main thing is to continue to push that, because as we're doing this right now, people are watching, people are listening, but also all the people can be inspired to do the same thing, because we need to have that voice to continue to tell the people, hey, we can do better than that. We have to do better. We demand change. We asking for change, but also ourselves. But how do we treat each other? You know what I'm saying? As black people, you know what I'm saying? How do we treat each other? I mean, many times, sometimes even me, there are certain place that I go, I'm like, wait a minute, they don't see my complexion? I mean, I'm black just like you.
Exactly.
But why are you testing me? Why are you doing certain things to me? You're supposed to see me like, hey, this is my brother here. This is my sister here. But we have that mentality also. We need to learn to appreciate each other. We need to learn to support each other, But that's one of the things that we can identify and say, hey, listen, we have to do better than that.
Exactly.
Come on. How do you expect people to see you, to respect you?
That's real.
And then you don't know what you're worth. You don't know how to treat other people.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so listen, when we talk about identifying the problem with our people, we are two black men. So we are identifying the problem with black people that we feel with black people, So that's the discussion that needs to be had. It's one that may be a little bit uncomfortable, but it's something that has to be told. Like, there's such a spirit of competition between black people, and I don't understand. I can't possibly fathom why that is. Like, I'm telling you right now, like, when it comes to businesses, I'm telling you right now, that is the perfect example, because I live in Malden, right? And I'm telling you right now, bro, like, there is like a few black businesses here and there. There's like a few Haitian restaurants I've seen. Like now I'm starting to see like there's a few Haitian restaurants in certain corners, whatever. Hey, I'll go inside, try to support as many local businesses as I possibly can, to help them, get up off their feet and handle their business, But to me, it's like, as we're looking at certain restaurants or just like a certain black business, why don't we just invest? Invest into a business that's already successful or one that's up and coming. Like, you know what? Wow. Yeah. But the problem is with our people, we see that we're like, oh, you know what? He has a business on the west side of town. I'm going to start one on the east side of town. And then you ultimately become rivals. Why is that? Yeah. Why can't we just uplift each other? Like, you know what? I see this business. I'm going to uplift this business, and I'm going to make sure that this brother is successful in what he's doing. Yo, the Asians ain't got that problem. Asians can implement, I'm telling you, at least four to five restaurants in one particular area. Yes, you're going to see Asians flock to that area. Mexicans do the same thing. Hispanics, whites, they are consistently supporting each other when it comes to businesses. We're not doing that. We are always in the spirit of competition, and it has to stop, man.
Yeah.
It's really disgusting.
Yeah. It doesn't look good. I mean, is it too late? No, it's never too late. But sometimes when you're looking at this, you're like, why is that, man? Why can't we just smile? Why can't we just support? Why can't we just be happy for one another? I don't know if the level of competition we have. I mean, I understand that. When I'm playing basketball, I'm playing basketball, This is just a game. But now we're talking about life. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about life. And like I always say, because I grew up in a family where high standard, family value is very important. Presentation is very important, because if you step out there, you know what I'm saying, the first thing my dad used to tell me is say, hey, when you step out there, I'm not there to guide you, but trying to make sure that people see the real you. You know what I'm saying? And do not let yourself fall into those stereotypes, because we at a time where TV, social media, a lot of stuff like that going on, and people tend to, those young kids today, they tend to learn from this and put it into practice, and this is the worst. I mean, to me, television is good for entertainment. I watch movies and stuff. But if I need to learn value, I cannot find it in TV.
No, you can't.
Nowadays,
you can't.
the shows
Trash.
that they be showing people now, things that you're watching on TV, like, wait a minute, what is this?
Housewives of Atlanta.
You know what I'm saying? And
What's that black show called? Inc. They make black people look like fools. Okay, I'm sorry. I know those are your shows, and I'm jacking it up for you, and I need to jack it up because those shows make black people look like fools. Some ghetto fools, uneducated fools. It ticks me off.
That's not who we are. That is not who we are, because when I'm watching every time, what's more popular on VH1, it's always a black show, VH1, Housewives, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good to make your money. I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? But there's certain things sometimes you have to question. You have to listen, they're making me look like a fool right now. I know it's making me money, but then how people gonna see me?
Exactly.
I mean, now we're talking about for example, right now, we young men, right? Young black men in this country. First of all, I remember we in college, we have certain way we talk. You know what I'm saying? Because you're educated. I'm not saying I'm fortunate. I am fortunate because God gave me a chance. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't have that chance,
No,
but,
I don't know.
for that reason, there are certain places that you get to. Instead of when they see you, they tell you, "Oh, young man, oh, you in college, bro. Oh, that's great." Instead of say, "Man, keep going, do the good." I mean, listen, I'm proud of you, But instead, what they say, "Hey, man, you speak white," or they say, "Hey, man, oh, you're not from around here.
You speak
this is
very
the hood.
proper. You sell out.
You talk too proper, stuff like that.
Sell out.
And then they're like, "Hey, man, you need to get out of here." So at some point, I'm like, what's going on here? Because I thought I was supposed to be comfortable around my people, but this is not what it is at times, So you're like,
You ain't black enough.
you know what I'm saying?
You ain't black.
Hey,
you ain't using the N-word. You're not black.
So that's why I'm like, listen, in the hood, when they talk about the hood, there's a lot of talented, a lot of great mind coming from the hood. You know what I'm saying? And we should be proud when you see someone make it out.
Thank you.
You should be proud and say, "Wow, I know this kid. Oh, he's doing big things now. I'm happy." Because I probably know I might not get to his level. But that's why we have to make sure that the next generation got a better path. That's what we're doing. Like if I have my kids now, I want to make sure my kid is better than me.
Yep.
Because there's certain opportunity that I may not have, but I'm a work for him or for her to get that chance, to get that better opportunities. So pretty much now we need to understand that, listen, that's not helping when you are hurting each other. That is not helping when you are actually fighting. Why? Because you're jealous of this young kid or you're jealous of this person because they made it out. But on the same time, there's a lot of people you forgot where you come from. Because once you get out, you forgot your roots.
That's real.
It's always good to come back and invest in your roots and then say, "Hey, I've been there. Now I'm trying to help somebody else."
Mm-hmm.
Listen, that's all that is to it, because respect, you will not get it by fighting each other.
No.
And a society that's well organized, they know that you need one another, because an organization, right? You have the person that got the brain, you got the person that's architect, you had the person that brooms, that cleans. They're all important too, because they're all part of this organism that makes everything works. We all can't be the same.
No.
We cannot be the same, because if we're the same, we're like robot doing the same thing. The diversity, what we bring to the table. Like right now, my boy Welch, he has the studio. I don't have a studio.
Doing big things that we get to use the studio.
But he's creating opportunities.
Hold on for a second. This is a plug-in moment. 572 Boston Road. Bill Ricker. If you need some photos, you need to do a podcast.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to plug in my boy right now. I can't see him in the corner smiling. He's probably smiling right now. I got to plug him in. Okay, Hudson, what were you saying?
I don't want to see this guy have time to even sleep. People need to just come here. Hey, I want this shoot. I want this video. You know, I want just come through.
He's doing big things, baby.
Just come through, because that's what it's all about.
Royal Soul Production.
We support each other. That's why I appreciate what he does, because that's not what I do. But I see him making effort every day. And what I'm doing, I'm like, you know what? Let me get with this guy. Let me get with him. So here I am today. Here we are. Remember when we started? We started in our phone. And now look at this platform.
It was my phone, y'all. We were recording stuff on the Anchor app.
You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, do a little upgrade. You know what I'm saying?
We sounded good.
Do a little upgrade, baby.
But then again, look at me. Look at all the lights. And I feel good. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a black thing right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's like, and the one thing I was thinking about is that we need to start adopting the just because mentality. Yeah. You know, I feel like black people have support. Like, let's stop supporting people. Let's stop only supporting each other when things are going bad. Yeah, everything when you're seeing someone on CNN, when a black man gets gunned down by a police officer, or a woman gets taken home by a black man and obviously gets killed and mutilated and murdered. That's the only time there's an uproar. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call a woman a queen because of what happened to that young lady. I'm gonna call the man a king because black man a king because these unarmed black men are getting killed by police officers. That's horrible. Yeah. No, let's start adapting the just because mindset. What is the just because mindset? I'm going to encourage you and empower you just because it's Tuesday, just because it's Monday, just because it's Wednesday. Because I love you, brother, because I can see that God can do something great within your future. We need to start having, when the Bible says in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, it says, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We got to renew our minds, man.
Yes, sir.
The problem is, like, everybody's thinking the same. This is crazy spirit of competition. I remember an old friend of mine, brother Daniel Lewis, he told me something so crazy that it literally blew my mind. This is probably over 10 years ago. He said that, I think he said from Mattapan to Blue Hill Avenue, there is 130 Haitian churches.
Gee, that's a lot.
I want you to sit on that for a second.
That's a big number.
I want you to sit on that for a second. Does that even make any sense?
That's a lot of numbers right there.
There's such a competition. I'm a Haitian man, so I got to speak about my people for a second.
Yeah.
You have any idea how great we would be?
Yeah.
If we would just put our pettiness aside.
Cut that to half. How about that?
Put our pettiness aside and put our ability or wanting to be in the forefront aside and say, you know what? I'm going to empower my brother. I'm going to pray for my brother. We're going to come together and just form one church. Forget all this 130. No, let's just form one church and allow God to use. No, I got to be in the forefront. Say, man, qui chef là. Like, that's the problem. Like, I'm the top guy. I'm the top person. I'm the alpha male. I'm the alpha dog. Yeah. Quit it with all that, man. Like, when are we going to step up and say, you know what? No, what this person's doing is great, and I'm going to elevate that. I'm going to pray for God to elevate this person. I'm going to pray for God to do great things in this person's life. I'm going to pray for God to use this man, use this woman to do great things, not because they're black, because I can see. Yeah. I can see what God can do with this person. Yep. As black people, we're not doing that. We're trying to identify an issue that has been going on for centuries. We sit there, we point the finger at the white man. We point the finger at Asians. We point the finger at Hispanics. No, the time has come for us to take responsibility for ourselves. There are times I'm walking down the street and dude's like sizing me up. Like, I'm like, yo, what's good? Like, really? Just looking at me like he's trying to fight. I'm like, yo, what's good? Like, are you kidding me?
Had a couple of that.
Yo, like, are we brothers or are we brothers?
Oh, yeah.
Are we brothers or are we brothers? Now, there are people who also, but for the most part, to be fair, I'm going to be fair. For the most part, I would say my encounters are positive. People will stare at me and be like, you know what, brother? Like, what's up? Like, how you doing? Yeah. Because like we're identifying, hey, I'm black, you're black. I'm empowering you just by acknowledging you. I'm going to acknowledge you. I'm going to acknowledge how great you are. I'm going to acknowledge that God made you great. I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm going to glorify that fact. We are not doing that. No. We are not doing it as a people. We're not doing it as a society. But yet we cry. We cry for help. We're not helping each other. We don't have each other's backs, and we have the audacity to sit there and want the world to help us out. Let's start helping each other. Let's start stepping up, taking care of our responsibilities as people, and then we'll sit there and talk about all the other stuff. Let's start doing our part first, because we're not doing our part, but yet we want help from everybody else. We want help from the white man. We want help from this person. When are we going to step up and ask, you know what? do I need to do?
That's true.
What do I need to do in order for this thing to get right?
What can I bring to the table? Because, listen, we talk about the system.
Sorry, y'all. I'm passionate about this.
I
I'm
know-
sorry.
I know you
I know
got
I'm loud,
fire.
y'all.
I know you
Sorry,
got
y'all.
fire.
Sorry,
Yeah.
y'all. I caught that fire real quick. Sorry.
Yo, we talk about the system all the time. Ever since I was a lot younger, you're talking about the system is against us. I understand that. We have a system that makes things very hard for us. But the system cannot stop you from becoming successful.
You better preach, brother.
Because why? Because it's about the mindset. What do you think of yourself? Where do you see yourself? Are you a visionary? Do you have dreams? I know along the way you're gonna find discrimination. You're gonna face some tough situations. But is that really the reason why you cannot make it? You may not become very rich, but you can still be comfortable. You can still live. It's about you. What do you want to do? Because I'm not accepting the fact that you say, hey, the system is against us, therefore I'm not even gonna try. Why bother? Because I know I'm gonna get stopped. I know somebody's gonna be against me. I know. No. Listen.
Can't keep making excuses now.
We better than that.
Too much resources.
We better than that. We can do this, because why? It's about what you bring to the table, what you think of. You don't go get your education to just sit and watch. You go get education to just be useful to the society, useful to your younger brothers and sisters. You have something. That's why I'm always like, it's always better for me to see more doctors, black doctors, more entrepreneurs, more businessmen.
Lawyers, judges.
I have nothing against rappers,
preachers,
but a lot of time the messages that they bring in is not the best messages.
No, it's not.
If that's the way they want to make their money, I understand that. But there's also a lot of rappers that bring something for you to think about. You know what I'm saying? For example, you had Tupac that was talking about change.
Yeah.
This is not the first time we hear this.
No, it's not.
We asking change, but change the way we live, change the way we act, change the way we see each other. Those things are.
He's rapping the lyrics, y'all.
Even when we're talking about even when we're talking about on a personal level, how do you see yourself? Because I want to see. Hey, listen, I don't have kids yet, but when I have kids, I want to see my kids be able to make it far in life, to be successful. Now, I'm not talking about, I don't want God, it's on you, but I don't know. I don't need 5-7 kids because I want to be able to educate my kids. If I have 3, max 4. But I want to be able to provide and also make sure they can have an education. Because when you have too many kids, you talk about some will get and some will be neglected. Exactly, you don't want that. You don't want that. But everything has to be planned in a way for future, because us right now, we the present, right? And you have a lot of young kids right now today that's facing so many uncertainty because at home, the one thing that black people needs to understand, and it's not only for black, it's for every families out there. Your education doesn't start at the school. It doesn't start even at the church. It starts at home. It's at home. That's where you get everything. So that's why you pay attention to what your parents are telling you. I know sometimes your parents can do wrong things. Man, sometimes they mean well. But education starts. If at that time, right now, you are very educated, make sure you pay attention to your kids. Don't let the TV raise your kids. Don't let friends raise your kids, because they're going to give them the wrong information. Because information is power. Knowledge that you need in this society, it has to come from a good source, So that's why we say that it has to start with us. Within, we need to make better choices in life, and that's the only way you can progress.
There's a very deep-rooted issue. I was watching something on the OWN network. Well, I was watching on demand. I didn't know it was Oprah's network. It was called Dark Girls. I don't know if you guys ever seen that if you've seen that documentary. It's actually really good. Yeah. There's part 1 and 2 Dark Girls, and then there's a light-skinned one. And to me, it was sad. Listening to some of the stories, and obviously they were talking about whites and how whites were holding them back, but they were mostly talking about their own people holding them back.
Yeah.
We need to stop body shaming each other, you know, as it pertains to our skin. If you're if you're light skinned, you're dark skinned, it don't matter. You are beautiful. You are beautiful, and we should be celebrating one another, celebrating our beauty. You know, I'm not talking about go out there and listen. I'm sorry, I'm not talking about as the Instagram models do, because I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. I'm being honest. I don't agree with Instagram. I don't agree with them out there, because all they're doing is selling
the body.
They're selling the body. They're selling nonsense. I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. That's just me personally. You know, like if you wanna see yourself as someone that's class, then show up as someone that's class. That's me. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like the brown paper bag test. Really, like to me, it's just like it's insane to me. People are constantly bleaching their skin. People are constantly, being told that you're not black enough, or you're too black, or you know what, you look beautiful for a black person. You're very pretty for a black person. Like, wow, you're light skinned. Oh, do you think you're better because had a father that's black and had a mother that's white? The person is still black. I'm like, oh no, you're not really black because your mother is white. It's like when are we gonna stop that? That nonsense needs to stop. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we just support each other and just love each other for how the person looks? You can't choose your parents. I can't choose the fact that both my parents were black. I love being black. You know what I'm saying? But you can't choose that. Let's be proud of how we came out. The Bible says whenever 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, he'll be there. So imagine how powerful we can be if we just allow God to use us together. We just come together and just do great things for God's glory. Yeah. We don't do that. And that's the issue. So to me, it's like we need to stop doing that. And another thing that's really bothering me and really upsetting to me is like, these rappers, and it even went on during my time, when listening to the Tupac Shakurs and the Biggie Smalls of the world, objectifying black women. Like, we treat black women like they are the scum of the earth, the lowest of the low, and that needs to stop.
Well, some actually likes it though.
Yeah, and that's the issue. You wanna know why? Because they're so conditioned to think that this is the way I am.
Yeah, that's not who you are.
We are not empowering them. Rappers are not empowering black women, so that's why they think that they're nothing. Obviously now society has changed and they're being elevated in terms, of certain things that's going on, things of that nature. But to me, it's like when you have a music video and you see dudes throwing dollar bills at a black woman while she's dancing, what kind of message are you sending? And most of these guys have daughters, by the way. Oh, I'm providing for my daughter. You're providing life for your daughter. I see that, but what kind of message are you sending to your daughter by throwing dollar bills at the black women? How come we don't see black women in music videos as lawyers, as doctors, as social activists, as preachers? Like, we're not elevating them. Yeah. We're making them, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're literally doing exactly what society's doing.
Well, that's exactly why you see a lot of women now, they're doing this revolution. Now they're trying to take their power back because they feel oppressed so many centuries, because they realize, whoa, wait a minute, that's not who we are. And that's exactly not who you're not that. That's not who you are.
No, not at all.
But the thing is, it goes back to responsibility. As a man, listen, I grew up in a family where they always say the man is in control of a lot of things, but the context that a lot of people take it is wrong.
Yeah.
If you're a man, you're a provider, that does not mean that nobody else's opinions,
matters,
don't matter, stuff like that.
It's a partnership. It's definitely a partnership.
When we talk about a strong definition of a man, now we're not talking about a man that's just gonna come and speak over everybody or just command and, hey, go do this, and that's it. And I have spoken, and then you just sit. No. It's just a man that's
I am king, I am ruler of this house.
It's a man that's providing, and a man also that's showing respect to his wife, and show the wife that you're worth it. You are what I want. You are what I need. You know what I'm saying? And you
empower
show
each other.
her that. A lot of women don't feel that.
No.
And to go back to that, you will realize that a lot of kids are making the wrong choices because the fathers are not even home.
The fathers are not around. Yeah.
They're not even home.
Not around.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't learn how to become a man. How they grew up become a man is by watching TV or watching BET. Those are not the best choices. Because your father, sometimes when you trip into your father can check you and say, hey, this is not how a man should behave.
Exactly.
I've had that before my dad passed. I've had that. Thank God. I was at a time where like, oh, wow. I thought, well, okay, thank you. Or if he had to just whip me a little bit, hey, say, listen, man, behave yourself. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how you talk to women. That's not how you do this. Those guidance. A lot of young kids today don't have that.
They don't have that.
And the women, they grew up without a father figure. Sometimes that to show them love. You know, they don't have that love, which make them now, they have this identity crisis and where they're seeking that. All of those we see all this in the black community a lot. This gonna have to be one of the biggest problem, and that can be changed by taking your responsibility. If you wanted, you see that you were ready to have kids, but you have to also be ready to take that responsibility and take care of that kid.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way it is. That's the reality of it. And to tell the truth, we have to continue to progress. We have to continue to address those things until people say, hey, I got to listen now. I got to do better. I can't be in a place, I go play basketball and I'm still facing, discrimination from my own people. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel?
This dude almost got shot playing basketball because but Hudson got a mouth on him, so he almost got shot because he was trying to be tough with some actual gangsters. He's only here because his cousin was a guardian angel, saved his life.
Hey, listen, man. So I do all right. I'm not the best ball player, but I do all right. But listen, it's just basketball. I don't have to lose my life over basketball. I don't have to lose my life because I disagree with you.
Yep.
I mean, you have your own opinion. I have mine. I respect where you stand. You respect where I stand. You know what I'm saying? We can find a common ground for progress. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But does not mean I don't have to be violent with you because of that.
No.
Because we're not built the same. We're not facing the same struggle sometimes internally. This is something that we have to deal ourselves to overcome it. We need to have that support for each other. You know what I'm saying? I respect you for who you are. So there's so many times you disagree with me, but I never fought you. I know you for more than a decade now. We never had that problem.
No, never.
We got heated conversation.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But that was just it.
That was it.
Even my brother Welch, we had so many times that we encountered on the basketball court, but we're still good friends. We don't have to disrespect each other.
Me and Welch is good. Welch is always wrong when we talk, so he understands. So guys, so we just so identifying the problem with our people, this is something that we had to discuss, something we had to talk about. It's very important. I just hope that you guys were able to understand where we were coming from, and just at the end of the day, guys, just do the just because mindset, okay? Yeah. Just because you're beautiful, just because you're black. We need to, as black people, we need to empower each other and just really show Christ's love, because God is the only one that's going to be able to get you where you need to be with one another. We have to, and we have to allow God to show us how to live this life, because the enemy and social media and everything else is going to, kind of literally pollute and dilute, your mind.
Iron sharpens iron. Right?
Yeah. It's the message is going to be poisoned. Yep. So just love each other, guys. Don't wait for a tragedy to happen on CNN or Fox News or, any other social media outlet. Just love each other, because, we were meant to love one another. And that's how we're supposed to love each other and empower one another, because it's important for us to do that.
There was a time. You remember back the old mindset that the older generation had is that if my son is out there, they have other parents that looking out for the kids. Hey, I know your parents. Behave yourself.
We need to get back to that.
You don't see that today.
No, not anymore.
Say, don't touch my kids.
It's every man.
You don't know my kids.
It's every man, every woman for themselves now.
The sense of community is gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Sense of morality is almost non-existent.
Oh no, there is no sense of morality.
We have to do better. We gotta revert back to God, because God is the answer to everything. Right. The violence, everything that's going on in the world. God is the answer. I'm a man of God. You're a man of God. We're just going to keep bringing those issues, and also let you know, despite all that, Jesus, God, is still in his throne and he's in control of everything.
Amen. Yes, he sure is. So, guys, please subscribe to our YouTube page, okay? It is H&R Podcast. Please subscribe and just give us, whatever likes or whatever. Give us your honest opinion, because, this is like a real talk podcast. So we appreciate everything, guys. So I'm Richard Voltaire.
I'm Hudson Charles.
God bless you guys.